Ladies and gents, this year we get something pretty cool. We hit a big milestone in the UFC as we finally hit the 300th pay-per-view, kind of. It's a little weird, like with the numbers. There's like a 0.5 in there, but it's UFC 300. And as they did with UFC 100 and 200, the UFC always try to go big for the best main events and main cards possible. Just ignore the fact that this year they rushed to get a fight that was originally going to be at UFC 301 and just moved it at the last second of 300. So let's talk about the very first milestone event here, UFC 100, featuring the GOAT himself, St Pierre, as well as a massively underrated fight that I feel like nobody talks about. A talk about sponsorships from beer companies and is that a Jon Fitch main event? UFC 100 took place on July 11th in 2009 when I was like a month away from being a sophomore in high school. It managed to get a buy rate of approximately 1,600,000, which is wild for the time. We had these fights in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Mandalay Bay, and the golden team of Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg are in the building. But now that the preamble is over, let's get to these prelims. Dong Hyun Kim got a dominant decision win over future sad retiree TJ Grant. Jim Miller, he continued the woes of tough winner Mac Danzig with a unanimous decision. Future crack addict and known steroid cheater / eyeball poker enthusiast, John Jones got a guillotine win over Jake O'Brien. Then finally, for the last fight on the prelims, UFC legends went at it with Mark Coleman getting a decision win over Stephan Bonner, and actually a pretty good fight. But now, let's open up the main card with two people very much deserving to be on the hidden hammer list, Yoshihiro Akiyama and Aiyama Belcher. Akiyama tosses a lead leg roundhouse to the head, but Belcher is defending it pretty well. Akiyama moves in for a 1-2, but a big counter right for Belcher. Akiyama catches a low kick, lands a good punch, then launches a body kick into a punch combination. These dudes are just building a great pace, with Belcher hitting a clean left hand hook that knocks Akiyama down. Super cool lead leg high kick into a right hand combination for Akiyama. Akiyama ends the round avoiding a submission and landing some decent punches from top position. Second round, beautiful switch kick to the body for Belcher, but it's caught by Akiyama and he just gets him down. On the ground, we have a great scramble with Belcher hitting a reversal, but he loses position when he tries to go for a leg lock. Big right hand from top position, and he's just content to be in guard. Belcher keeps the electric chair and manages to use it to stand up instead of getting the sweep. Big right straight and uppercut for Akiyama, and whenever one dude lands a shot, it seems like the other dude is ready just to fire back. Final round, and the energy has kind of come back with both dudes. Just trade punch combinations with a liver punch seemingly slowing Akiyama down. Belcher just chopping Akiyama with these low kicks. Belcher goes high. Akiyama just tries to counter with some big punches that leads to Belcher firing back. Akiyama counters a low kick with a straight right that actually jumps Belcher. His plan finally paying off. Belcher pops right back up, throws a big Superman punch off the cage with Akiyama waving him on to the fans after eating it. Belcher goes for a spinning back fist, is taken down off of it. He explodes back up, and they're just letting it rip with 10 seconds left. Fantastic fight. Rewatching it, I always feel like I change who I kind of lean towards. This time, I lean towards Belcher. The judges see it differently, though, and they give it to Akiyama via split decision. So even though I disagree with the judges, I got to give props to this fight. The crowd was kind of dead, though, during it, and that kind of hurts it. But it's still a 9 out of 10 for me. Really fun striking battle with some beautiful Muay Thai, some cool grappling as well when it did go to the ground. But I could be biased, as I genuinely just love watching these dudes fight. Next up, we have an incredibly famous fight in Dan Henderson, and he's taking on Michael Bisping. Both dudes, they coached each other in Tough 9, which was a UK versus the USA style of show. An instant clash of personalities, as Bisping loves to play the mind games, and he's just a loud personality in general, with Henderson being kind of a by-the-book, quiet and calm guy. The UK also smoked the US in that season, and definitely led to some trash talking from Bisping, and it's kind of made this into a pretty big-sized feud. First round, Bisping looking to be smart. He wants to circle towards the power side of Henderson. Hendo just wants to bully in, land that terrifying H-bomb. Hendo lands a big shot, swarming on Bisping early with some more bombs. Another one lands, they clinch up. Bisping breaks away though. Bisping seems to have recovered. He's using a kick here and there while using straights to get back to the game plan. A good Bisping jab knocks Hendo off balance momentarily, and it's starting to look as Hendo is kind of losing some momentum and Bisping's kind of taking it back. Big right hand into a clinch for Hendo. Bisping's fighting well against it, but he's still eating some knees to the body in this clinch. And the round ends with Bisping eating another big right hand. Second round, we're back on the game plan for each fighter. Hendo looking to kind of wade in. Big right hand into another big one against the cage. Hendo started to use a low kick into a left hand, getting Bisping's attention, attacking from the same side. And Bisping's trying to get that confidence back. He's doing well, much better than the previous round for sure, but inside low kick. Bisping circles away, trying to parry a monster of an H-bomb that comes over the top and flattens him. Wild flying forearm comes in on the already unconscious Bisping. Arguably the greatest one-punch KO ever. I'm an American, and this feels like the greatest gift. It's a 7-day late gift, but it is still a gift for America for American Independence Day, just 7 days late. That shot was reminiscent of 1776, and what a fantastic KO that everyone should see once. So I'm giving this fight a 9 out of 10, as that KO is still fantastic. Rock, flag, and eagle, America! Next up, we have the first of 2 championship fights, this one taking place at welterweight with George St Pierre, the greatest of all time, taking on Muay Thai wrecking ball Thiago Alves. First round though, GSP goes for a big single, he gets it, Alves pops up quick, George has the back clinch, brings him down again, both hooks in, Thiago manages to roll over, gets back out of the feet, good left hook to the body and a low kick for GSP, but Alves is throwing just a hard one back. Great Superman jab into a low kick for GSP that buckles the lead leg of Alves, and GSP is actually winning the striking. Alves tries to press forward with the offense, but is taken down quickly. George in guard. He's able just to stay on Alves, even when he kicks off, pressing him to the cage, taking the first round. Second round, and we see another masterful distance control exhibit from St Pierre. Another Superman jab into a low kick, then a quick takedown that is successful. GSP has just great control, landing shots when he needs to. Alves gets back to the feet, but is stuck in the clinch, kind of getting holly-homed. Alves breaks away with 10 seconds left, but he can't just get any offense in. Another easy GSP round. Third round, GSP working the jabs and low kicks while circling away. Alves does stuff a takedown, and he's trying to get to work in his offense so we can put that power onto the champion, but he gets taken down for it. More control time. Alves does get up, he's moving in, and he actually gets knocked down by GSP, who's going for a good ground and pound finish, but Alves does recover. Fourth round, 30 seconds in, we see another big takedown from GSP. Alves manages to escape, and when George moves to take his back and jumps on top of GSP actually. GSP gets back into the feet, taking almost nothing in terms of damage. Alves goes for a low kick, GSP catches it, takes him right back down. GSP controls the rest of the round with him trying to take the back and get a choke. GSP actually has a torn groin right now, but he's still able to get the takedown. Alves is still able to get off his back, but on the feet, he can't do anything. He's eating jabs and kicks from the champion. Big slam off of another low kick for GSP. Another great jab into a level change for another GSP takedown. We can skip to the end as GSP just maintains top position for the rest of the round and takes a clear, unanimous decision win. Honestly, this fight's pretty boring. But boring doesn't hurt your greatness. Like, if you're the man, I don't care if, like, your fights are awesome or if they're, like, just terrible. If you're the man, you're the man. And GSP's the man. He had a torn groin in this fight and destroyed the #1 contender for 5 rounds. 3 out of 10, but that doesn't make this any less impressive. This is just a very, very impressive masterclass performance from the greatest ever, as far as I know. So, for the final championship fight on the night, we have 2 heavyweight champions fighting for the undisputed title. World champion Brock Lesnar and interim world champion Frank Mir. So these guys fought before. Frank Mir nearly getting hammered out early, but an awkward reset from Steve Mazzagatti led to Mir getting a leg lock over a debuting Lesnar. Lesnar then took on Heath Herring, smashed him for a decision win. Then, despite eating some big shots, he managed to overpower the legend Randy Couture to win his title. Frank Mir, after the Lesnar fight, he went to fight for the interim title against Big Nog. There, he became the first person to stop him with strikes that led to him completing his comeback story after a terrifying motorcycle crash. Both dudes have been talking mad levels of trash towards each other. Mir specifically kind of saying some unflattering things, like threatening to unalive Lesnar in this fight. Unalive, I believe, is the YouTube appropriate term. Lesnar's trying to get a low kick here and there while Mir is moving into striking range. Both dudes land some punches, but Mir gets taken down. He goes for a leg, but ends up in half guard. But Lesnar's being uncharacteristically patient and grappling with Mir. No real damage done yet until some elbows kind of land that make a hematoma on Mir. Lesnar does get an arm around the back of Mir's head and just throws his lunchbox fists at him. And this whole round is Brock basically just on top in half guard, trying to change the anatomy of Frank Mir's face. Second round, Brock goes for a takedown, but lets Mir back up in a big bravado-esque showing. Mir presses the pace with strikes, goes for a big flying knee, Uriah Faber style, that definitely hurts Brock, but it leads to Brock landing on top of him. Now Brock is in great position and is able to go back to how he was pounding on Mir in the first round. Big right hands come pouring in, and Frank Mir gets TKO'd, but he was basically unconscious here, let's just be honest. Then, Brock Lesnar, who wasn't known to be a good talker in professional wrestling, he always had like a manager like Paul Heyman with him, pulls out a great post-fight speech that is mega memorable.
Frank Mir had a horseshoe up his ass! I pulled that sumbitch out, and I beat him over the head with it!
You know, actually, this fight, though, it's pretty slow, but very brutal. I'm going to give it a decent little 6 out of 10 for sure. The post-fight speech and the brutality of it kind of make me kind of like it. Now, let's move on to the main event of the evening. A fight that technically it isn't the main event, but this is a fight that I believe was on the main card originally and got delayed until after the main event. It's Jon Fitch versus Paulo Thiago at welterweight. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do you guys a favor. I'm not going to cover the whole fight. And while it isn't the worst fight ever, I hate ending a retro review with the typical Jon Fitch fight. All this fight has going for it is it's a great showcase for Jon Fitch and why he was so good back in the day. He dominates this prospect with stifling wrestling, avoids every submission threat possible. He neutralizes Paulo Thiago for 3 rounds and even out-grapples him. It's awful and really, really boring. Jon Fitch wins a unanimous decision. So this fight, like I said, wasn't the worst fight ever. But this is the first time I've told myself I have to skip a fight on the Retro Review series. So it's a combination of where it was placed and how bad it was. It wasn't one or the other. It's kind of the combination of it. So because of that, I can't believe I'm doing this, you know? I'm going to give this fight the first ever 0.5 out of 10. I'm not going to give it a 0. I refuse to give it a 0. I have 2 fights in mind that if I cover them, they are getting 0s. Maybe there's other 0s I'm just not thinking of. This is officially, as of recording, the worst fight on the Retro Review series. But how do I feel about the whole card? It's pretty solid, actually. 2 great fights, 2 boring fights, and 1 mediocre. But each one, except for the Jon Fitch fight, had something special with it. GSP's gutsy, groin-tearing performance, Brock Lesnar's post-fight speech, and avenging his only loss in MMA at the time, Dan Henderson metaphorically crossing the Delaware on Michael Bisping. Aiyama and Belcher is such an underrated fight that is only let down by a quiet crowd. And I think because of that, I think you can give this card some leeway, and I think it kind of elevates it a bit. I think this card's a 7.5 out of 10. That's it for me, though. Be sure to check out more of the Retro Review series and share them with your friends who love this sport too, because we love making these. And while these don't do great numbers, they have a really good reception from you guys, and we love them too. So hopefully we can kind of share this great experience that of course I bring. You know, it's all about me bringing this great experience. No, of course not. But plus, if you really want to support us, the best way is to support us on the Patreon, where you get exclusive content, early content, and as a little bonus between us, right? You can request a fight card for me to review on the Retro Review series. I'll review anything as long as I can get my hands on it. I'm Joe with the INC. Thank you so much for watching. Peace, guys.